Good morning, Grand Rising. Happy New Week. I am so excited to be live with you all. I'm going to make sure that I am live on IG. Come on in the room. Good morning. Good morning. Wake it up. Wake it up. We're going to talk about breaking the rules. I don't know what kind of parent you are, what kind of rules you set, but today we're going to talk about how parents can and should break the rules. I'm going to give you 3 ways to break the rules. I woke up this morning, and oftentimes I wake up and y'all are on my mind. The parents are on my mind in my sleep when I wake up. I promise you. It's like when I taught all the grades, right? I taught second, I taught fourth, I taught fifth, and I taught sixth grade. And then I've been a substitute teacher and I've done all the things. But when I taught, I will wake up with my lesson plan. I will wake up with what I wanted to discuss or talk about, or the angle, the way that I wanted to do that. And so I'm excited that I got woken up out of my sleep. I fought for sleep, but I was awake enough to think about this. And so I want to teach you about how you can teach your children through you breaking rules. And I know good parents, we teach our children to respect authority, to follow the rules. There are rules in place and for a purpose. But how many of you know that not every rule is serving? Not every rule is written. And so I want to talk to you about 3 unspoken rules that you need to break these 3 unspoken rules. So if you would do me a favor, wake it on up, because I love engagement. I want you to talk to me. And if you are or know a successful parent, high achieving executive, a high earning business person, an entrepreneur, someone who is building legacy, who is super duper determined and driven and successful, I want you to invite them into the room. If they are a parent, invite them in. Share this live, tag them in this live, comment on this live with their first, last, middle, and last name, with their whole government, and tell them they need to watch, because this is for them. We have the mindset, I want you to adopt the mindset that you can prioritize success at home, just like we do in work or in career or at a job. I want you to apply the same openness to grow and to work and to collaborate and to learn things as you do at work. Okay, bring all the razzle dazzle that you have in the boardroom. Bring that to the living room. Bring that to the kitchen table as you're doing homework with your child. Homework time can often feel like a struggle and a strain, but today I'm going to tell you how you can break the rules. And I want to invite you also to my webinar. Hosting a webinar. I was like, I'm gonna close out the year. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna take, some time off, but I just really want to talk to y'all about grades. I really want to talk to you all about grades. And so the webinar is Don't Be a Grinch. Don't be a grades Grinch. Define your vision of success in time for the holidays. So we're going to walk through finding out what makes up a grade, discovering how to check progress outside of just progress reports or report cards, because those come, every few months. I want you to really know how to measure success, learn how to set big goals, and collaborate with your child's teacher to set those goals. And then I want you also to be able to access resources that are needed for success. So all of that I want you to be able to do. If you're wondering what I'm doing, IG, you can see it. I take this nail polish off. What we're not going to do is have chip nails on a live. I mean, I did have them, but they coming off. They are coming off. So I want you to come to the webinar. I want you to invite a friend. My webinars are exciting and fun, and you will learn something that you can apply right away. So make sure that you come to that. In order to get the link to register, just type grades and I will send you that link. Grades, and I'll send you the link. All right, so let's jump into it. Y'all know I got my notes because I get excited and I want to make sure that you get all of the information. So I have been working with a mom who is challenging the rules. The rules that do not serve her daughter, that no longer serve her daughter, really that didn't serve her daughter or many other children in that school. The school is following some of the guidelines, but skipping over and abandoning several others. And so it's almost like there's no accountability, like there's no process, there's no method to student success or learning. And so this is where a rule, written or unwritten, needs to be broken. I've worked with schools that have rules that overrun the humans. So, like robots, like everything is a rule. I've been in schools that can use a rule or 20. Okay, where's the rules at? Where's the order? I've been at schools also that have a nice, safe, comfortable learning environment where the rules are adjusted based on the need, right? It's not like rules are out the window, but they are doing what is best for the ruled, right? So the rules are serving a purpose. Next month, I'll be talking more about the rights of parents, especially when it comes to special education and special education services. But I want you to understand first how to think about grades, and I want you to know how your child's school is measuring success so that you know what to ask for, you know what to ask, and you know what to access. Okay? You know what to ask for, you know what to ask, and you know what to access. So here are the 3 rules that you should break. Again, some of these are unspoken. These are unspoken rules. These are principles that silently govern our school systems in some classrooms, some schools, some districts, and I want you to be okay breaking them. Are you ready to roll? Are you ready to roll? Give me ready to roll in the chat. Are you ready to roll? Are you ready to roll? Give me ready to roll in the chat. Are you ready to roll? Ready to roll? Ready to roll in the chat. I look really sleepy on this camera. I'm not that sleepy. Can you turn my lights up? I'm just preparing for when I get my show. Can you turn my lights up? And camera 3 got me looking like I'm tired and I'm awake. Baby, I'm up. All right, we're going to go right into number 1. Let me quiet down just so I ain't sleeping. See, this is why I got to stay on my script. So the first rule that I want you to break, type a break in the chat, break, is the rule that you'll be just like me. It's a rule, a silent rule, believe it or not, that we may be putting on our children. You'll be just like me. And what that is a rule that I need to fit in. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what the rule is, what it communicates to our children, and then the impact of that. So that you'll be just like me. Oh, he's just like me. She's just like me. She's just like her mom. She's just like her dad. It is a rule that tells your child, I need to fit in. Like, I need to be like XYZ. And it could be it could go from being like a parent to being like a peer, to being like a frenemy, to being like a teacher, to being like someone I see on the internet, on social media. So it is really a question of identity. And so although we may be similar to our children, there are things that make them unique and make us unique. And if I discount who my child is, that they are a whole and that they are a separate person, to be honest, I'm becoming lazy in discipline, in relationship building, and showing love. Because if I'm like, oh, they're just like me, that cancels out any identifying factors that are unique to my child and assumes that I can discipline them, I can build relationship, and I can show love to them the way that I show it to myself. And so we're making assumptions as parents, and the assumptions really are projections. It's like, well, I gave you that because that's what I want. And so it's letting us off the hook. And so I want us to put ourselves back on the hook and realize our children have unique identities. And this journey in parenting is getting to know them, getting to listen to them, getting to understand them, getting to grow with them. And the real challenge is something we have to accept as parents. It's a challenge of observing, of curiosity, of openness to change. It is a journey indeed. And this is something that we have to teach our child's teacher as well, that you can't treat my child like everybody else because they're not everybody else. Here are the ways that I know they're unique. What do you know about their uniquenesses? And those are conversations that you can have with your child's teacher. So we are going to break the rule that you're just like me. or you're just like such and such, that you have to fit in. And we're going to teach our children that they can be unique. And how do we teach them that? We honor their uniqueness, and we make and make and enforce rules that honor the fact that they are unique. Okay, there's still fairness and equality and equity and all of those things, but we have children who are individuals, and so we can't rule above the rule, right? We have to make sure that it honors who they are. So if you're thinking, nah, bruh, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, I want you to step into the webinar. I want you to come to the Don't Be a Grinch webinar, and I want us to, I love the word unpack, right? Because it means to pull apart. I want us to unpack. Let's take the luggage, right, of grades, and let's pull it apart. This is going to be on Thursday. It's an evening. So clear your evening on Thursday, December 14th at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to discuss grades, the way that we measure success correctly and incorrectly, accurately and inaccurately. I want you to see that your child is a learner academically, socially, and emotionally. And by only focusing on one, we are leaving two areas that need our attention to make sure that they are successful, not only in school, but in life. I want you also to help yourself see your child the way that God sees them. So we're going to shine a light on who is your child. Okay. Who are they? Not what do they do, not necessarily what they're good at, but who are they? Who did God create them to be? And I know that they are fearfully and wonderfully made. Y'all, I'm so curious. I was gonna say nosy, but nothing's happening out my window. I just saw a tree and some snow, and I'm like, anybody outside? Okay, let me stay focused. If school has frustrated you, okay, if you've been frustrated by school this year, if you have felt confused by school this year, if you are upset, saddened, if any negative words have been attached to your child's school experience, I want you to come in the room, because you are going to learn not only about grades, but about the school system, about the measurements of success, and then develop a very strong stance on what your vision for success is, so that when you're encountering these obstacles and these challenges, you can make sure that you don't sway from what you know is the goal and the vision. All right, sound good? So just drop a grades in the chat, and I know that you can that you want to join that. Grades. All right, point number 2. Y'all ready for number 2? Give me a number 2. It's my drum roll. Number 2. This is the rule that I want you to break. All right. Number 2 says, you'll be better than me. Right? How many times have we felt or even said to our children, you're going to do more than I did. You're going to be better than I am. And the sentiment can go one of two ways. But oftentimes it is this false humility. Like, I'm doing all this, I'm putting all this pressure on you because I want you just to be the greatest, and I need you to get these grades because you need to. And sometimes that's more about us in places where we need to maybe go in and sit and, ponder a little bit. It's more about us than it is about our children, because just imagine that someone who you admire and that you value and that you love and you think the world of, even like you might put them in the status of a hero, they say, you got to be better than me. Pressure, stress, weight, and we don't want to put that on our children. And so what that is oftentimes is false humility. It means that even if this is not what I want to do, or this is not what's best for me, there is the rule to stay silent, right? The rule to just, good morning. Mom, dad said, I got to be better. And so even though this is crushing me, or this is hurting me, or this is unfair, or there's something that I need to tell them, I'm going to just stay silent. I had a parent that I worked with who actually had 3 school meetings in 1 week, the week before Thanksgiving break. Okay. So the timing of it is very interesting because stress, right? The timing of it was unfair, but this parent had 3 back-to-back meetings. So 1 week, 3 meetings, separate days, separate times, and in person, virtual, on the phone. At one point, it was her across from 5 school administrators. 5 school administrators, one of which was actually a lawyer. Okay. Um, Now, this parent was able to walk into this conversation with no intimidation, with no fear, because she knew her child and she knew what she was advocating for. She understood that there was no pressure to perform, that she could go in and advocate at the highest level, tell the story, let the facts tell the story, and that she could keep her child at the center, even while focusing on her own well-being. She reached out and we got connected ahead of time, which I'm so grateful for, and we were able to walk through everything that had transpired, all of the facts and information, what it was that she wanted, and there was nowhere in there where she was saying, I there was no projection. I want my child to have more than I had or had. We know that we want those things. We want great things for our children, but her child was the focus. And so she focused on being a loving and caring mother, a concerned mother. She honored her role as a parent, and she walked in with confidence to talk to lawyers and education professionals and administrators and teachers and judges. She went in with confidence because it wasn't the rule of my child has to be better, right? I'm fighting for something. It was the rule of um, this is a right and this is what my child deserves. And so I want you to think about ways that maybe you have called your children to perform or to outshine or to do more. And it's really been about you and not about them. And I want you to think about how you can give them some grace, how you can give them some space to adjust, form their own identity, and show you who they are and what they need. Okay. Find out what you don't know about your children so you can have the information that you need to get them what they deserve. Find out what you don't know so you can figure out what they need to get what they deserve. And one way to do that is by joining the webinar. So come on in if you are interested. If you're watching and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I need to get in. I need to get information. Really, a lot of our role as a parent is to be confident in the goals and the vision of success that we set for our children. We know why we want them to be successful. We know what success looks like. And sometimes we're not afforded the opportunity to sit down and to express that. But I will show you during this webinar how to sit down and express that and express it in writing so that it's not something you have to continue to think about or wonder or change. Although you can be flexible, it's something that's written. Write the vision, make it plain. It is what it is. You asked me about my child. He is going to be a world traveler, a multilingual billionaire. Yes, he is. And he's 3. So guess what? We have so many years to make that happen. There is a sense of there is a sense of urgency, but I'm not rushing and I'm not stressed. Even in the moments where I take a breath, like we're going somewhere. We have a plan. All of this is for a purpose. So the schools that I decide to send him to, the community that we're a part of, the activities that he participates in, those are all a part of the plan. And so it takes out the emotions that challenges can bring, and it helps us to stay on the path for success. And I want to help you do that as well. So during the webinar, I'm going to walk you through the steps that I took to set up the vision for success, and then also give you the opportunity, if you need any of those resources, to have those resources as well. Y'all ready for number 3? Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? All right, I'm going to give you number 3 real quick because I got to hop off. I just looked at the time. I want you to just know that waiting is not the answer. Let me wait. Let me see how he or she does in school. Let me just see. We are in we're almost in December. We're in November. And even January is too late. January is 5 months into the school year. That's like waiting until halftime to speak up to the ref or to talk, to speak as a coach or to give, an intervention of the other team. And I want you all to know that it starts today and it starts now. And if anything that I said resonated with you and you know that grades have been an issue, right? And they will be an issue for the holiday season, I want you to come to the webinar. I want you to comment grades, slide in my DM with grades. I'll drop you the link so that you can be there. Parents who are involved and informed get things done. Okay. Before the kids come home, before the grades come out, before the tensions rise, I want you to celebrate the growth. Okay. Grades, growth. And when they overlap, it's beautiful. But I'm going to, again, help you find out what makes up a grade, discover how to check progress outside of progress reports and report cards, learn how to set big, ambitious goals for your child, and to access resources for success. Comment grades, and I'll see you in the webinar on Thursday, December 14th at 6:30 Central Standard Time. Talk to you soon.